Alright, draft physics video, shouldn't bother, but maybe one last time. We'll see. Wrong mouse, guys, sorry. Cleaning up some stuff here. So maybe I'll do some holiday, but it's just this lensing thing, and these points are just so, they're not that complicated, and especially if people are going to be so arrogant about, I got you on something or something else, and you really don't know the subject. I mean, it's just so bogus. Bogus, man. Bogus. Alright, so the John fucking Wayne character came back to do this nonsense. And, again, assuming he's a reflection of how ignorant you people are, okay, let's go over it. And some other guy did ask a similar question, which is just, just, look, I think somewhere in the 30-minute video I did say, if you don't know anything about physics, you're not gonna, this ain't for you, this conversation. Anyway, okay, so I didn't read this whole comment, but so this beginning is the part that's just, it's holiday all over again, kind of crap. Alright, about the gravitational lens thing, you realize that galaxies that cause lensing are incredibly massive, question mark. For instance, the lensing foreground galaxy of the cosmic horseshoe is hundreds of times more massive than the Milky Way. Doesn't matter. It's a density issue. The mass isn't dense enough. There's not enough. It's the sun only has 8 times the gravity that's on Earth. 8 times. That's it. The surface of the sun is 1,000,000 times bigger than the Earth, and yet on its surface the gravity is only 8 times what it is on the surface of Earth. That's all. It's not anywhere near proportional to how much bigger the sun is than the Earth. Not even close to proportional. Because the sun is made of hydrogen, a very empty atom. Okay, lots of space. And the Earth is made of aluminum, a very dense atom with lots of stuff in it. You don't understand? It's a density issue. Okay, so some other guy, like I said something similar. I'm new to your theory. Maybe already explained this. Based on your description of the process for gravity between two bodies, it sounds like no, it didn't. The force should be a function of volume, while the evidence is it's a function of mass. I've only said 7 million times. Gravity's a nuclear force. It interacts with the protons, the electrons, and the neutrons. And maybe just the neutrons, but who cares? The point is it's reacting, it's pushing the nuclear bits. They're the things that are actually getting moved by gravity. Your physical body isn't getting pushed. The nuclear bits inside of it are getting pushed, are absorbing the energy. So anyway, I can imagine how something with less mass would be able to store the energy going through at higher rate, but I don't know how to take the volume completely out of it. Well, volume's not volume, it's density. Okay, mass is a density subject, and so it's the density of whatever of the protons and electrons, how many of them are in a space will decide how much gravity a thing can produce. And it's key to this question of size versus volume, size versus how much time the object will be in the gravity. But it's still a volume thing. Obviously, if it's a big object, you got more chance. So if you have a big gravitational field, a big arc here on this circle, so say this was your potential lensing area, the light will be in the gravity, okay, for a longer period of time. But the odds of creating gravity, a mass this big, is very small. See, black holes end up being very small by theory, and so therefore they'd almost be poor candidates for lensing, because at the speed of light, see, there's less time in the gravity. So you have two issues that involve bending light. To bend light, you not only have to spend time in the gravity, but it also has to be strong gravity. And Einstein's, like I said, if you're going to say there's such a thing as an Einstein ring, this is where Einstein would say it would be. It would be where there's strong gravity. It wouldn't be out here. And it certainly wouldn't be 5, 10, 15, 20 radiuses away from the object. No chance of that. So a galaxy is, I mean, I pointed it out. I'm not going to do it again. Fuck that. That's stupid. I mean, I went over it and over it again. There's a bunch of empty space in a galaxy. It doesn't matter how massive the galaxy is. The density of the mass is so low that on the surface of the galaxy, if this is the galaxy, right? Here's a galaxy. Here's its, you know, where the spiral arms are going. The gravity out here couldn't capture something going 5 miles an hour. If I shot something by the galaxy at 5 miles an hour, it would probably escape the galaxy's gravity. That's how weak the gravity is out there. The only place you have any hope of lensing if there is strong gravity in the center. And I'm going to argue the real strong gravity in a galaxy is in these dense arms. They're the things that have gravity. But you have no hope out here. No hope at all. And you certainly have no hope out here. Absolutely no hope of bending light. And that's the argument. The gravity they're claiming it's like magnets. You've never played with magnets. You don't realize that as soon as you get like a half inch, an inch away from the magnet, it doesn't matter what you do. Even if you put the little magnet on a string, it might not even do the compass thing anymore. The field is so weak. That's what the inverse square law means. 4 times weaker for every single radius. I said all this in the video, so it's just obnoxious for these assholes to sit there and repeat this crap like I didn't say it. Oh, Jesus. So let's see what else the John Wayne says before we just delete this rubbish. Let's see, hundreds of times the Milky Way, like I said, which is irrelevant, and the Milky Way, again, also couldn't lens light. 7 solar radiuses, 7 radiuses distant from it. He doubted whether we would ever get a chance to see it. And yeah, that's right, because it would be right next to the object that's radiating a ton of light. So you're not going to see the Einstein ring around a sun very easily. Now, a red dwarf, possibility that the red dwarf, and it'll solar lens something that's blue, and you might see the ring then. But we don't have any images of that. So that's the whole point. There's no lensing where it should be, which is close to a galaxy's edge. And we have all these lensing images of lensing way the fuck out here. Light years away from the galaxy. Oh yeah, we got lensing images of that. And we don't have any here. None. 0. Not one single one where the gravity would be stronger. Hundreds of times stronger. That's what's wrong with your theory. There's no lensing where it should be, and there's lensing where there shouldn't be. That's why there's something fundamentally wrong, and that's why they invented dark matter, which is just invisible man solution. It's a god of the gaps. It's exactly as I described it. It's cheating horribly to save a bad theory. Alright, let's see. He also doubted that harnessing the power combined in the mass of an atom could ever be possible. That's right, yes, okay. I already did that story. Yes, Einstein made a big mistake there. Shooting birds at night in the country where there's very few birds. Well, in your pajamas, I think he also added. But nevertheless, such lensing is exactly what he predicted. So that's your statement. This is why you're blocked permanently forever and ever and over and over and over again. Because that's not even close to the truth. The lensing that exists is nothing like what he predicted. You're lying about Einstein. You're lying about a dead man. He's not here to defend himself against that disgusting lie. Einstein would never say, that's lensing. He'd say, that's impossible. There's no way there's enough gravity there to bend fucking light. because as you get further distant, it's like the head of this fucking pen. Now, if I put this head of this pen right next to a light bulb, right? Right next to a light bulb, right? Lots of light hits the little tiny pen head. But I hold it out here, nothing's hitting it barely. And then I go fucking 50 feet away, then even less is going to be hitting it. It's the same thing. Light is the same thing, the same inverse square law. Put your eye right next to a light bulb. Go ahead and do it, retard. I'm for it. Alright, and see how much more intense it is. And then an inch away, how intense it still is. And then 2 inches away, how intense it still is. But yes, by the time you get a few feet away, oh, all of a sudden I can deal with this. I can deal with this. That's the truth, idiot. And Einstein said the only place that's really bright enough, okay, to bend light, so to speak, is right next to the surface of a very dense object. A big, heavy thing, not a big, light thing. Again, the sun is gigantic. I don't know how many Earth diameters fit in the sun, but it's a huge number. Huge. And yet it only has 8 times more gravity because it's fluffy. It's not heavy. No heavy atoms. Little fluffy atoms. Helium and hydrogen. Fluffy. Jesus, what an idiot. Alright, let's just do this one more. Read a little bit more, not just to leave. It's just, he just keeps lying. Okay, it's just lie science. Anyway, claiming such would be like, okay, we did that part. Nevertheless, such lensing is exactly what he predicted. It's just amazing. No, it's nothing like what he predicted. It's why Eddington did the 1919 experiment, for fuck's sake. And apparently you don't understand that experiment either. Right? And we just saw all these images of the solar eclipse. And the corona is huge. Okay? Solar diameter on either side. And what does that represent? When you see all that stuff, that fog around the sun, all that brightness around the sun, even though there's an eclipse, what is that? Oh yeah, that's right. That's photons coming out of the sun and hitting the atomic particles the sun is ejecting, and then bouncing off of them and coming to you. And look how bright that corona is. So it's a dense field of nuclear bits. Okay? Fog. And that's why you're seeing it. It's fog. It's like somebody's headlights in the fog and then you see this glow around them. Same exact kind of effect. And yes, so Eddington was trying to see a little star through that field of corona. Alright? And see that it was out of position. And out of position, how does he see that? Because he can't take a picture tomorrow. He can't, of where the exact location of that star is when the Earth is in the same position. So he has to do a ton of calculations to figure out where he thinks that star should be. And that's why they negotiated, okay, for the famous experiment that proved nothing. Because they had to negotiate, and they threw the slides they didn't like out. The images where you do the measurement and, oh, no, it's in the right position. So the pictures where, no, it's in the right position, it isn't lensed, they get thrown in the garbage. That's another part of the experiment that you're claiming is proof of something. And I'm merely saying it's reason to doubt. That's the reasonable statement. It's reason to doubt. It's not proof, it's reason to doubt. It's exactly the opposite of proof. Let's see what else he says. Also, the reason we see lensing so far away, well, this ought to be good, from the galaxy has to do with basic geometry. No, yes, you don't see lensing, but what you're seeing is basic geometry, and it's called the inverse square law, and you're out of luck. Okay. Since you did so well in high school, so again, more rhetoric, I'm just not going to take any more of this nonsense shit, okay? We're not allowed to see your ugly dick, smell your skanky foreskin, see your fat belly, and all this rest of this shit. I'm just sick of your gratuitous nonsense. Until you man up and make a real video, you've got no say here, scum. How did you do in high school, by the way? You have any evidence that you're a brilliant person? There's no evidence in your fucking argument here. Exactly what Einstein predicted? No, not even close. Alright, anyway. You should have no problem understanding. If we have an isotope, isosceles triangle with base width 1 and height n, then the angles between both the base corners approach 90 degrees. Irrelevant. As n gets arbitrarily large relative to the base width, again, this is, you're not even using the proper geometric object. And maybe you can understand this. Okay, I gotta go. I missed something. I mean, that can't be his explanation. There's got to be more to it than just saying isosceles triangle. That's as bad as Ken Wheeler's hyperboloid. If you have an isosceles triangle with base of 1 and n height, then the angles between both the base corners approach 90 degrees. The base corners. But whatever. As n gets arbitrarily large relative to the base width. And maybe you can't understand this, but the galaxies and hundreds of millions of light years from each other. Now, I could be... No, you don't understand. That's so fucking irrelevant. The gravity that the sun is producing where the Earth is located is 0.015 meters per second. It's 100 times weaker than the gravity on the Earth. You couldn't lens from the Earth's orbit. There's no hope of that because that gravity is so weak. You can't understand that? Alright, so that was useless. Let's see. Alright, base width. And maybe you can't understand this, but these galaxies and hundreds of millions of light years from each other, how far away galaxies are from each other doesn't mean anything. Now, I could be like you and say the fact you don't understand this must mean you're really stupid. Yes, that would be the rational thing to do, but you're the one who doesn't understand that it's a density issue, retard. And probably never graduated high school. So again, more crap that's just useless. But I actually think the reason the reason for your warped sense of geometry, well, obviously you can't understand a simple principle. It's a light bulb. It's a magnet. Same geometry for light going from a light bulb. Same geometry for magnetism coming off a magnet. Same inverse square law. And any imbecile can sit there and understand that the magnet doesn't have any attraction as soon as I get, just a few centimeters away from the magnet. Less to do with an intellectual debt, more to do with willful denial. So I don't even know what that means. Willful denial, in what sense? I'm denying that I understand that gravity is created by the nuclear bits, and the more densely packed the nuclear bits are, the more gravity there's going to be for a given arc. Okay, on your part. Also, it's insane that you deny the pictures show light bending. Well, the pictures don't show anything getting bent, so that's just retarded anyway. I mean, they really don't show that. They just show light in a location, idiot. But it's just idiotic mathematically. So go ahead, live in your completely... you're just demonstrating that if this is as much thought as people give these subjects, no wonder all this bad science exists. Because you people can apply no rational scrutiny to anything. You just eat whatever they tell you. And what they're telling you is absolute crap. Because without the invisible man, you got no hope of bending any light in the locations in those pictures. Alright, so I did the guy with the two body. Okay, and then yes, the lying John Wayne scum fake person had to make some kind of idiotic comment, so I'll have to block him again. The troll, the whatever you want to call him, the sock account king. I don't know. Jerry Perry adds a stupid, speaking of photons, photons. James Joyce invented the term quark. Okay, who the fuck could care? I just people in these comments. So anyway, there's some guy called Bob McBlock. Yes, you'll be blocked. All right, and it's really the Dr. Samuel Hayden guy. So you can go look up that, and I'll just properly dispose of this idiotic comment. Yeah, let's play his video. I mean, he's made a video again, but it's the same bullshit all over again. So he uses the title of my video, you know, in this video, and then just plays a still from my video. So he still just can't get how rude this is, right? He can steal my image. I don't get to steal his. So you just don't understand what a fair fight is at all, can you? You just can't understand how to play a good game. You always have to play a little crooked game, right? You could put anything on here. You could say you could just have text. My counter argument to the cranky loser who, you know, can't deal with my fantastic arguments. You could just write that text. You don't have to steal my fucking face, right? So let me steal yours. Make a video with your stupid, ugly gob in it so I can post it up there and just, you know, rag. You weak ass motherfucker. So there's nothing here. I mean, well, I might as well start at the beginning, but I played the first few seconds. You can just tell it's going nowhere.
Oh well, looks like you're back to deleting comments and blocking people. Can't say I'm surprised, but you know, I figured, hey, might as well make a video.
Yeah, you're not really
Since
not
you
making a video.
And obviously don't like having an open discussion on your videos.
No.
Remember when you went on that physics forum and posted something?
The object of the argument. See, you keep not recognizing what the argument is. The argument isn't your dopey delusions about what you think science is or this or that. The argument is you have to point out how there's some reason why the mechanical model I've drawn doesn't fit the evidence. Now, you're not even coming close to doing any of that. And then I've pointed out how your model, the one you're supporting, okay, doesn't fit the evidence, that it's completely inconsistent, that the formulas can't even be applied. And then it's perfectly illustrated in the Wikipedia page calling something Einstein's ring when it's not using Einstein's math. Because if they used Einstein's math in the real universe without some kind of fake invisible man matter, it's not an Einstein ring. It can't exist by Einstein's math. You don't see how, and you just keep defending that nonsense. So those are the two sides here. You're providing no argument and just doing this raggy complaining because other people don't like your rude ass. Well, if you could behave like a civilized, decent human being and ask maybe reasonable questions, well, I don't understand. So this is how you could ask your question. I really don't understand what you're saying. Are you really saying that location doesn't have strong enough gravity to bend light? Even that would be reasonable. But that's not what you're doing. You're arrogantly saying I'm wrong and somehow you're right when no, you didn't demonstrate that. Or you're saying I'm unqualified to express an opinion. Or you're saying somehow my opinion is wrong without pointing out how it's wrong. Yeah, you can't do that. Some kind of statement like that. Why can't I do that? Particle models can't duplicate gravity. You just say it. You don't prove it. You don't demonstrate it. You don't show how it can't work. I mean, you just don't understand the rules of a decent conversation, motherfucker. You're a rude little troll, for fuck's sake. So he even puts in the comment section, oh, yeah, I'm also known as, yeah, whatever it was, Gary Koch. Yeah, that's right. You're also known as other aliases, other fake identities you use to troll on the internet. Yes, you're a fucking troll, cunt.
Your shit there. And they basically blocked you and stopped you from commenting. And of course you went on YouTube and complained about it.
Yes, that's right, because my comment was polite. I didn't insult anybody, asshole! You really can't understand the difference, you fucking dumb cunt. I didn't go on their message board and say, gee, you people sound like a bunch of dumbasses. Your theory sucks, and I'm going to prove you wrong. I didn't do that. But even that is less rude than the shit you're spewing, you fucking weasel. God, you are so clueless.
You know, how can they do that? They just blah, 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 blah. So what do you do on your channel?
So you can't, again, you can't quote anybody accurately. Oh, you just blah, 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 blah. No, I pointed out the fact that, wow, it seems pretty chicken shit that you can't even have a conversation about the fundamental axioms. If you invite a conversation, they say, no, we can't do that. Because one of you people might be right. And that's what the bottom line seems to be. We can't argue with you because, yes, you're absolutely right. This stupid dark matter invisible man theory is preposterously silly. Okay, we have to admit it. And they can't defend Huygens, right? Because, yes, it's right. Physics really doesn't allow for an infinite number of things to be in a confined space. That really is kind of a silly notion. When did we make that up? Oh yeah, and we don't want to do this whole argument about whether you can convert matter into gravity waves, you know, essentially convert matter into bent space. Yes, I know, nobody had that theory. Einstein didn't have that theory. Nobody I ever heard of ever had that theory. But, you know, we're going with it because it's good for money. You know, we can make money on this whole wavy thing because people are all fucking, all horny for waves.
You delete, you block. You do the same shit.
You're not making an argument, okay? You're doing the same shit as usual. No argument, just this raggy, ridicule-y crap that has no substance. So I'm not going to be watching any more of your videos until you actually make a fucking argument about something fucking real. Fucking loser.
And claim all these things work this way doesn't mean that they actually work that way.
Oh, there we go.
That you have to prove that they work that way.
Okay, I already responded to this comment. Okay, you have to prove that they work this way. You can't just say they do. So again, I don't have to prove it. All I have to do is demonstrate in a model. The model works. I draw you a model. I tell you how fast the little things, the little arrows go. I tell you what their properties are. And then I demonstrate how if you play this out, this is how the model will work. That's all a model does. The engine, you can draw a picture of a combustion engine, a model, and label the parts and tell what they're made out of and everything else. And those specifications will give you all the knowledge you need to understand whether that engine will work or not. It's not that complicated, motherfucker. But I did respond to the comment, then I deleted it because it's rubbish. So go ahead and read your own comment.
You know, you talk about them, hey, it makes sense. And here's the thing, you know, if you just said, hey, I'm working on this theory, haven't proven it yet, but I think it might have some merit.
The channel name is Draft Science, you dumb cunt. I mean, we're really done. Fuck this guy. You're too fucking stupid, alright? Too fucking stupid. I mean, the channel name is Draft Science. And in every video I've given every indication that it's certainly a work in progress. And the work would have progressed so far by now, even more, so fantastically, if it wasn't for you goddamn obstacles to it getting the recognition it needs. Once a bunch of real scientists start working with this, it's going to be exponential growth all over the fucking place. Because it explains so fucking much, you dumb cunt. And you assholes are the ones in the way. Play a little bit more.
About making predictions, you don't give a shit.
Okay, here we go. No, that's right. And I've said it at least 8 times now. What prediction did Darwin make? He didn't make any fucking predictions, idiot. He matched the fucking evidence. You think science is a silly thing about making, like Nostradamus was a truth teller because once in a while he predicted something correctly. That means he knew the truth. So we can just go to that guy because he had all the facts. That's how you think the world works? Then you're a dumb motherfucker. A fucking astrologist can predict things. I predict that the human beings will have drama, so I'll just make up a story about you kind of people today. This is the worry month for you. Yes, worry, worry, worry. There will be stresses in your life. Horrible, horrible stresses. There, I predicted something. Now am I a fucking genius? No, it doesn't. Am I a great scientist because I predicted that you're going to have worries? I mean, fuck you and your stupid definitions. Why do I have to accept your definitions of what science is? I say science is facts. It's information. Okay? And the whole fucking point is organizing that information in the most fucking logical way possible. And I'm saying that my theory beats the fucking shit out of your goddamn invisible man, bent space bullshit theory. And if you're too stupid to see that, then you're just too fucking stupid. But I think it's because you're too fucking biased. You're a little video game player who thinks the universe is some sort of magic place. You're a dumb fucking trolley retard. Fuck you. Jesus. Alright, so now on to the fat, stupid, smelly retard. So he just keeps going on about how you just look, bent bottle lens. You can't make such a lens in the real universe. Not possible.
For that observer, for that eye, for that screen.
Again, it's not the subject. The subject isn't how you have to be in a certain position to see certain individual objects. The point is that the probability of seeing objects way out here is really low. The probability of seeing objects way in here is really high. Okay? And you have exactly the opposite in terms of your evidence. You have only images way out here. You don't have any images in here. That's why your theory likely is wrong, dumbass. And again, I went over it, but it's the thickness of the lens. This thickness is way too thick. The inverse square law doesn't create the proper lens to resolve the image. So you shouldn't be seeing any images. And to see perfectly round things, okay, is even more fucking improbable. You're not explaining anything here. Yeah, loafy, doafy, rubby the nosy. Did you know it's a magic, it's like bewitched nose. Every time I move it sideways, okay, an angel gets its wings. Yeah, great argument. You're prepared so fucking well. Thanks.
You don't get
Was I making a video?
discount all these ideas.
Discount what? What idea? Again, you didn't even touch the subject of the video. You didn't touch the arguments I've been making from the very beginning. The galaxy this way, okay? The light would end up in the gravity a lot more time than a gravity this way. Gravity this way is very... Galaxies are flat, retard. Okay, so going through the galaxy, this is even weaker gravity because the light beam, the photons would be in the gravity a very, very short period of time. Where if you lens this way, the photon has to travel the whole length of the galaxy across, and it will be in some gravity through that whole process. And when it gets to the center of the gravity, there'll be a strong gravity because it'll be going very close to the center. How come we don't have a single fucking lensing image of a galaxy this way? The way that's logically likely to be more capable of producing lensing. Have you dealt with that argument? No. Have you evaded it? Yes. Do you understand how gravity works? No.
These basic high school ideas.
Okay, well, whatever. We're just done. Fuck this shit. Yeah, you have the basic high school ideas wrong. Okay? You can't bend suns into stupid, silly shapes. You can't bend strong gravity into a silly shape. Strong gravity doesn't tolerate silly shapes, retard. That's why everything in the universe, okay, that has strong gravity is a sphere. That's a fact, idiot. It's a fucking fact, idiot. It's a fucking fact, idiot. Alright. So, yeah, fuck this shit. Oh, there was that other comment. Yeah, I guess I'm just in a shitty mood, so I'm just like, oh, fuck this shit. People are too goddamn stupid. Wasting my goddamn time. So anyway, there was a comment in the spam folder that I thought was, it was long, and I figure he deserved something. So Bob McBlock somehow ended up in the spam folder again, even though I just got rid of him. But anyway, so it's really Dr. Samuel Hayden. So go to that page if you want to hear his brilliant non-commentary. Irrelevant mush. Okay. So, Steph, you fappy guy. Yeah, another... I mean, you know... Nobody has a real name. You seem to be implying that the electron or proton are the photon. They're not the same thing, idiot. You seem to be implying that the electron... Well, you don't need to read the text, so I'll read it poorly for you. And you'll like it or not. You seem to be implying that the electron or the photon spreads out. I don't know what the hell that is. Due to the gravitational force from the slit. No, that's not what. I'm saying that they're going to follow field lines. Because it's a charged situation. Two plates are moving towards each other, essentially. Two material surfaces are moving towards each other. And somehow they're going to have to create a positive and a negative side. One of them's going to be positive, one of them's going to be negative. They're going to do that. All matter does that. When you bring material things together, the atoms in the material say we have to do the opposite thing. We can't do electron on electron. We have to try to make it proton on electron. So that's what it's going to try to do, and in that process, field lines will be created, and the electrons will line up on those lines. So the tighter the slit, the more the fewer electrons that can fit, and they'll be more bulged, creating a more dramatic deflection, one would assume. Let's see, that's your hypothesis, period. I don't know what that is. So far so good, that's your hypothesis. But we can go much further and actually test this. The gravitational force is well understood, so we can calculate what kind of pattern this would produce. Well, it's not gravitational force, so why would I apply gravity to two slits? Because it's a magnetic force, an electrical. I mean, it's all magnetic, but I'm just saying what we interpret as charge is monopole magnets. Unfortunately for you, the pattern would not agree with reality, says you. So you're not going to provide any evidence that it wouldn't agree. How can you just say that? Anyway, so what do we learn from this? Physics can't be understood if you don't know how to qualify, calculate stuff. Oh, you mean make up fake Huygens ideas and, Heisenberg nonsense. So, I mean, your statement is nothing. What am I supposed to do with, unfortunately, your pattern would not agree with reality? How do you know how much the electrons would deflect the light? How do you know that? Amazing. I don't know why he didn't consider your personal specific hypothesis. I don't know who you're talking to. But I can certainly tell you that it has been considered and disproven. You're wasting my time. So, yeah, fuck off. I'm not going to bother reading this shit. It hasn't been considered and disproven. You really think... Well, I'm not even going to go into all this stuff in my theory. So, you're just too stupid. I'm not going to read it. It's garbage. It's rubbish. It doesn't deserve to be read. So, yeah, goodbye. Oh, I should have just blocked him. But, yeah, try again, asshole. That's not an argument. You can't sit there and argue with somebody's theory by just walking up to them saying, that's already been considered. I mean, somebody should have walked up to Einstein and said, yes, that's already been considered. Everybody thought it was stupid. Invisible Man. It's a dumb explanation. Fuck you. Try again.